Well, we're at one bar, and I didn't bring a spare battery, so we'll record on till I goes or something like that. We'll see. So we just felt like coming on here and congratulating the brave souls that are continuing with this 28 days, because that is it is a commitment. That's when you really truly see how bad you want this, you know. Like how much do you enjoy that chocolate or that night out to town? I mean, this is, you can hear there's earlier today there was a party here, there's music going on, there's like festivities, the weekend. And so how bad do you want it? Like, how much do you want this path where you create the new, right? Like, we have tried to go a little bit out there, and it's not the same as it used to be when we were oblivious to those things. But now that we know, it's like, well, that frequency, it's not about the dancing, it's not about the music. I love dancing, I love music. But the people, like, there needs to be some filtering mechanism or something to make sure that you can actually vibe in a good way, you know, like where you can sink into your body and that you can actually truly be here. Because I certainly coming deeper into my body and I can feel it doesn't feel very safe here. Like, we have to inject more systems around us that supports us more than oppress us, right? I mean, we have to actually get into the ground and start to clean up, seriously. Like, we can't treat each other like we're cattle, you know? Like, it just doesn't work like that. But we also want to commend the brave souls that are partaking in these free energy reads, because they can be a little tough to hear sometimes where you are at truly in your frequency development. And it brings us no joy to tell someone that, hey, your reality is completely off. But what we have come to comprehend through our experience is that when you see someone is not looking at reality correctly, you have to say something. And this is the tough conversation sometimes that just needs to be had, so that people see the truth of how they manage their energy. Because usually those things come out in the couple or between people, but then they don't speak about it, so that they just retract instead of, you know, actually speaking what's going on. Because it's a lot of projection, and I'm just, you know, like, what's the motivation behind what you're doing? What is the motivation behind what you're doing? What is the driving factor that is attached to that fuel of that thing? Is it to be liked? That's a deep one for many. It certainly was for this being. He had to go through 6 years of going completely like coming to the end of my rope of what I had created up until then. And it wasn't working. Let me tell you, it was violence and psychological manipulation, like all kinds of stuff. And I just had an erroneous thinking of what the reality that I was seeing actually was. And so when that just finally snapped back and we saw truly, because when you land further in as your soul into your body, you start to see really what's going on here. And because you start to feel the feelings, right? You have to go through the feelings. That's the only way that we can anchor deeper and actually bring the order in here. Because this is where the order needs to be injected in action. That's why all of these other things that have happened and ETs and conspiracy, like whatever they call it, don't get stuck there. You're informed. Great. Great. Now, let's get to work. Exactly. Let's get to work with some coconut water. It's interesting with this YouTube because I almost feel like it's like I have to tend to this. I have to tend to you guys. Like I feel like you're like, I have to tend to you guys. I have to like, hey, come through with some assistance, because we can feel sometimes what's going on, and we just feel called to give some direction and some clarity so that you know how to maneuver your life better, truly. So let's see if they want to continue here or what. Let's see. Yeah, now we're just in 7 minutes. Yeah. How much do you want to shift where you are to the life that we're creating? Because we are creating this. This holistic perspective is a consciousness. And that is what is asked of all of us to embody. All of these teachings are leading to the same alignment. And many of these teachings, Christianity, Buddhism, Islam, everyone had their own slight twist to it. They all were slightly manipulating in some way. In some ways they're good, some ways manipulating. And that was the best that they could implant with the consciousness that was there already, right? But now we are coming to new terms of what reality is. And so we know now that it's not working as we thought. It's not out there that we are to look anymore. We know now, all of us know this, that it's an inside job. And then all of these structures, they are up for question. Because once you learn to live from the inside out, we have to change some things in order to fit with what is the most natural for us, so that the systems that are here gets changed to something that is more natural. Or, you don't have to go and change them. Just, okay, we see what you have done here, we can build our own collective here from the inside out. That is what we are creating here, the holistic perspective collective. So if you want to join us in the holistic perspective collective, we invite you to subscribe, and if you haven't already, you can join us for a free 28-day consciousness shift, and I'll see you again in the next one. Ciao.